Hello, I'm Dr. Fred Jones, the book coach. I help you write your book, build your brand, and grow your business. Our goal is to help you write your book right the first time so that it'll work for you for a lifetime. So if you're looking for real support, if you're looking for reliable and accurate information, cutting edge bestseller strategies and tips to build your business and grow your brand, then you're in the right place, listening to the right guy, and you're on the right channel. So in today's training, I'm going to be teaching you 5 legal mistakes that first-time authors make. 5 legal mistakes that first-time authors make. So let's get started here. But before we get started, I want to encourage you to like this video. I want you to encourage to subscribe to our channel. I want you to click on the bell to get notifications. And you know what else I want you to do? I want you to tell a friend that you know who wants to write a book and build a brand and grow a business. Tell them that about this channel, and I'll tell you what, they will be thanking you for a long time in life, because they will want to be a part of this channel so that they can get the cutting edge information and bestseller strategies that's going to set them apart, set their book apart, and help them accomplish the dreams and visions and goals that they've always wanted to accomplish by writing a book, building a brand, and growing a business. Now, let's get started here, because I don't want you to make some of these mistakes, and I'm going to be showing you and giving you 5 key mistakes that I've seen authors make, okay? So mistake number 1, okay? Mistake number 1 is on content creation. Many first-time authors are not aware that their content is intellectual property. Did you follow what I'm saying? It's intellectual property. And you say, well, what is that? Intellectual property is property of the mind and not property of the hands. Intellectual property is the property or the things that you create with your thoughts. You see, if writing is the action side of thinking, then when we put our thoughts on paper, we are now creating something that is tangible with our thoughts, and that's intellectual property. Okay, so mistake number 1, many authors and writers and content creators, they're not aware that all that you write and put in a book is intellectual property. And one of the things that you want to understand is, what is intellectual property and what can you do with intellectual property? Well, the same thing you can do with personal property or real property, you can do those things with intellectual property. Now, intellectual property is property of the mind, not property of the hand. Well, guess what? There are 3 main categories of intellectual property. And many times writers kind of get these confused. I've heard people talk, I'm going to patent my book. Well, you don't really patent a book, okay? Or you don't trademark a book. Now, there are ways that you can trademark a title, that if it's a series or if you're doing multiple or you're building a brand around a title, you can talk to a trademark attorney and you can do that. But you don't really trademark a book. You know what you do with a book? You copyright a book. So the 3 categories of intellectual property are copyright, trademark, and patent. One more time, slower: copyright, trademark, and patent. Those are the 3 categories of intellectual property, okay? Copyright, trademark, and patent. You copyright our ideas. We copyright our thoughts. We copyright our words. We trademark our business, and we patent our inventions. That's what you do, and those are the 3 categories of intellectual property. So when you're writing a book, it's the category of intellectual property is copyright. Copyright, okay? That's what you're going to protect. And with that copyright, there are so many different things you can do with a copyright, okay? You can sell it, you can lease it, you can transfer it, you can give it away, or you can assign it, okay? Or you can do one of those big legal words, which means bequeath. That's a nice way of saying you can give it away in your will. All of those things can be done with the intellectual property that you create from your book, Okay, so I want to make it clear that the mistake number one is many authors or first-time authors or authors as a whole, they are not aware that what they are producing is intellectual property. So it's content creation is mistake number one. Okay, now I'm talking with you here. What I want you to do, if you are not clear on something, write me a comment in the comment box and we will respond to you. Just put us a question in the comment box and we'll respond to you. Now, many of you are saying, wow, man, I need to work with this guy. I need to talk with him about how can I do my book. Well, let me tell you something. One of the best ways to work with us is just go to our flagship program. If you want to get started, bestsellerovernight.com. bestsellerovernight.com. If you want to avoid making mistakes, bestsellerovernight.com. Number two, are you ready for number two? The second major mistake that authors make is their cover creation, okay? The cover creation. Now, I want to show you this author. This is one of my authors here, Jonathan Jones, Process 14 Surprising Simple Behaviors to Skyrocket Millennials to Success. Jonathan Jones. Jonathan created this cover, designed this book, and he has published this book, and this guy has done phenomenal things with this book and with this cover that he created years ago when he first started working with me and when he invested and paid to work with me to get his book out there. Phenomenal job, and he created a cover that he owns exclusively, not knowing how to exclusively own your cover. Now let's talk about this business of exclusivity. Okay, folks, exclusivity means you own it outright. You own it separate from anyone else. Now, here's where a lot of people get, you know my word, huh? Fugabooed. They get fugabooed in when they pay someone to create a cover, and the cover is created, the cover is designed, and they pass on the cover to you, the author, and tell you it's your copy, you can use it on your book and do all kinds of things with it. But in the agreement, or in the small print, it says that the creator of the cover retains ownership rights, and it gives to you, the author, a license to use the cover. You see that right there? There's a difference between having a license and having exclusive ownership. Okay, so the problem that a lot of authors make is they don't know to even ask these kinds of questions when they're dealing with different people to design their cover. And if you got a cover that's been designed by someone else, and all of a sudden that company goes out of business, or you have a bad relationship with that person, then how are you going to make changes in your book when someone else has control of the cover? Don't want to make that mistake, my friend. You need to have exclusive control over your cover. And that is so important. And that is a mistake that I see many first-time authors and other authors make on an ongoing basis. Okay, so content creation, mistake. And then these are legal mistakes. And this is the legal mistake, or this is where the rubber hit the road when your book is doing well and you now have a legal issue that come up later on. That can create a major problem for your brand and for your business. Okay, so the content creation, cover creation, and are you ready for number three? Contract creation. Okay, the contract. All right, so here's the deal. Many authors enter into poor or bad agreements. Poor or bad agreements will get you stuck. They will cause you to be delayed. They will cause you to be denied. They will cause you to be destroyed. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to see that happen for you. So I want you to be aware that when you're going into writing your book, building your brand, and growing your business, contract creation is very important. And your book is a legal document. You want to put that in the comment box? Your book is a legal document. So if you're going to get somebody to help you write your book, build your brand, and grow your business, you might want to find somebody who is knowledgeable of the legal aspects that go into creating a book. A lot of people are building high-dollar brands and big businesses based off of their ebooks or their book, their paperback book, or a book in general, book period. They're building major brands. But if these legal foundations are not in place, the agreements that you enter into, then the moment you sit down in front of the big screen, the moment you look like you're making the big bucks, that's when the editor or the cover person or the formatter or the photographer, somebody's going to come out of the woodworks and say, hey, I help you do that. And the moment they come out and say, I help you do that, then what are we going to need to look at? We're going to need to look at the contract. We're going to need to look at the agreement. We're going to need to look at who said who they were going to do what and who was supposed to do what and who's going to own and control what. My friend, you are ill-advised if you're writing a book and not looking at the legal agreements between you and the parties who are contributing to the writing and or publishing of your book. You may not always be on the same page. May not always be on the same page. Okay? All right, so that's number 3, contract creation. Number 1, content creation. Number 2, cover creation. Number 3, contract creation. All right, so listen, folks, if you're getting value from this video, I want you to hit that like button, hit subscribe to my channel. Pass this video on to someone else who you know have written a book or they're writing a book and you want to help your friend avoid some of these mistakes. Pass this video on to them and tell them they need to be on this channel watching us, okay? And you can always go to my website at drfredjones.com, drfredjones.com, and you can get pertinent information and learn how you can move forward and work with us, okay? All right, so let's go on to point number 4. Point number 4. No, that's a 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Number 4 is copyright creation. Copyright creation. You say, what do you mean copyright creation? Copyright is the legal interest that you as an author hold and own in your book. Okay. Did you get that from me there? That's the copyright issue. Copyright is the legal interest that you hold in your book. You say, well, where do we get that from, Dr. Fred? Okay, you go to copyright.gov. If you want to go and see and learn a little bit more about copywriting, you go to copyright.gov. Copyright, COPYRIGHT.gov. And you go there and you read everything on that website and you will learn about the power of copywriting. Okay, now, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 8 of the United States Constitution give authors, writers, and creatives exclusive ownership of their work. Okay? Now, you as a writer, the moment you write, you copyright. You say, huh? Help me out. Okay? When authors don't know what copyright really is, they create this genius work and they oftentimes give it away because they're not real clear on it. When you write, you copyright. Okay, remember earlier I said intellectual property is property of the mind and not property of the hands. So the moment you write, you create copyright. And so when you put your words on paper, they are technically copyrighted. That's one level of copywriting. Okay, that's the lowest level. The second level is you can put a notice on the writing and say this work is copyrighted, whatever year you want to put on there, your name or your company name, and then you can put a notice to say anybody who infringes upon this copyright will be pursued and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the local, state, and federal law and to the fullest extent of the United States Constitution. Something like that. You see what I'm saying? I know I'm helping you, so listen up and pay close attention. So when you put that notice on your paper, you let the world know that they are no longer an innocent infringer if they choose to copy your work. They're no innocent infringer anymore. They are a knowing and willfully perpetrator or violator or taker of your work if they copy it and they see that you've already put that notice on there. Okay, that's how you can protect your copyright. So I'm telling you the 3 levels. The moment you write it, it's copyrighted. The moment you put the notice on there, that's another level of protecting your work. But ultimately, you're going to want to register your copyright. And when you register your original writing, you do that at copyright.gov, copyright.gov. So oftentimes, the mistake that authors make is not knowing that they have created something here, even if it's your story, even if it's a rough draft of your story, even if you write your testimony out. That is copyright creation. You've just created intellectual property. You created something that can be protected by the law for the life of you, the author, the writer, and for your life plus 70 years, or until the last author, if it's multiple authors, die. You see, there's an extended period of time that you get copyright protection. I believe it's 55 or 70 years. Just know that you get a long time of worth of protection, many years of protection for your copyright when you properly register it with copyright.gov. It's about 55 years or more that you are given there. Okay, so the mistake that authors make is not knowing how to really position that and to embrace that, to know that this is something that should be respected. This is something that I shouldn't have anybody coaching me or guiding me on unless they are qualified to guide me. Many that are coaching and helping people write books and build brands, they're not they don't talk about the legal aspect, or they don't help their clients with the legal copyright or the intellectual property of writing a book. They simply show them how to do it and tell them what to do, and they put it together, but it's put together on a weak foundation if it doesn't cover all these legal areas here that we're talking about in this training. And I don't want you to fall prey to that. I want you to be a smart author. I want you to be an abundance author, okay? So we talked about content creation mistakes, cover creation mistakes, and we talked about the contract creation mistakes, copyright creation mistakes, and the last one, number 5, is company creation mistakes. Okay, company. You say, what do you mean company? Okay, you approach writing a book as a hobby and not as a business. Here's the deal, folks. When you write and publish a book, and if you self-publish, you immediately position yourself as a publisher. You are a publisher when you self-publish your book. You have just published yourself. So when you're writing a book, building a brand, growing a business, approach this seriously as a business. Approach your book from the very beginning as a business. And if you will look at it like that, you will go in with the mindset of, I need to invest in order to get the right information. I need to invest to get the right people around me. I need to invest so that I can get the right guidance in order to release my book so that it will become profitable from the very, very beginning. Okay, so we're talking about legal mistakes, and any of these legal mistakes here can put you out of business before you even get started in your business, and we don't want you to do that. Remember what I often tell you, the most expensive thing you will ever pay is attention to the wrong people. You remember that? That's so important when you're writing your book. I like to tell people, write your book right the first time so that it'll work for you for a lifetime. So in this training, I trust that you have gotten some information that's going to guide you and help you get started with the proper mindset of writing and publishing a book. And not making these mistakes will put you way ahead of a lot of people out there. Now, some of you are listening right now and you're saying, wow, I'd like to know more. Maybe I'd like to talk with you more or work with you. How can I avoid these mistakes? I want to share with you right now how you can avoid them. You can avoid those mistakes by going to bestsellerovernight.com. Okay, that's bestsellerovernight.com. Go there, sign up, join that program, and you will get the mentorship, the guidance, and the coaching you need to write your book right the first time so that it'll work for you for a lifetime and even much longer. So friends, if you've gotten value from this training, I want you to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell. I want you to share this broadcast and go find at least one friend, one person that you know want to write and publish a book the right way, and tell them, hey, listen, you need to be listening to Dr. Fred, the book coach. He's going to help you write your book right the first time so that it'll work for you for a lifetime. Until next time, friend, I bless you. And again, you can go to bestsellerovernight.com. Thank you so much for watching. remind you the most expensive thing you will ever pay is attention to the wrong people.